great house at Collinwood stands deserted. The living have sought refuge elsewhere, leaving an evil spirit to roam the cold, empty corridors alone. For some, this night will seem an eternity. Barnabas Collins remains in a deep trance. He has employed the mysterious powers of the I Ching and gone through the door to the infinite, hoping to find and defeat the spirit that haunts Collinwood. But beyond the door, he has been transported back in time to the year 1897, a time of intrigue and terror for all who lived at Collinwood.
Tell me, Cousin Barnabas, what boat did you arrive on?
The Pride of Jamestown. It arrived in Collinsport this afternoon at 4:30.
Yes, so it did.
I'm curious about the paintings in this room. Is the portrait of Joshua Collins here?
No. His portrait is somewhere up in the West Wing.
Oh, I see. Well, he was the man who built Collinwood, wasn't he? It seems to me that...
I would advise you not to make a move.
Cousin Quentin, is this some kind of practical joke?
No. No, it certainly isn't.
Then you better explain it.
I intend to. You see, it just so happens that I recently returned from England myself. I spent the better part of 6 months there. So I had ample time to discover that there is no English branch of our family, and there never has been. Now, I'll give you exactly 5 minutes to tell me who you are and what you want here. Or so help me, I'll run you through. I would suggest you start talking. 5 minutes go by rather quickly when a man is about to die.
Even though I don't know you, I find it hard to believe you could be so cold-blooded.
I can be and I will be.
What are you afraid of?
Nothing. It just so happens that I know you're a fraud. You're after something. I want to know what it is.
I expected nothing more than simple hospitality and good manners. It seems that I was wrong.
I don't believe you.
That is your privilege. What is it that you think that I am after?
You don't have time to start asking questions. Just explain yourself.
I have nothing to explain, except that you are wrong. There most certainly is an English branch of the family.
I just told you I was there for over 6 months. Now, how come I never came into any people that were related to me by the name of Collins?
I think the answer to that is rather obvious.
What do you mean?
I submit that it's possible your reputation arrived in England before you did. Any man who would put a sword at another man's throat moments after they met is hardly the sort of person that relatives would want to meet.
Quentin, what are you doing?
It seems that your brother doubts my credentials.
Quentin, put down that sword.
Stay out of this, Judith. This man's an imposter.
Don't be absurd. It's perfectly obvious he's a Collins.
He isn't from England, and there is no English branch of our family over there.
Well, I don't care whether there is or there isn't. You have no right to behave like a barbarian. Now put down that sword.
Thank you.
I'm terribly sorry about this, Cousin Barnabas.
Perhaps under the circumstances, I should leave.
Oh, no, I wouldn't think of letting you leave. I want to show you that we can be hospitable. Quentin, I think an apology is in order.
Why? No one has alleviated my doubts.
Perhaps I can. I seek nothing but friendship. I think you will find that I, along with the rest of the English branch of the family, am quite self-sufficient. I have all the money I need.
Does that make you feel better?
If I made the mistake of judging you in haste, I'm sorry.
Now, Cousin Barnabas, come sit down and have your tea.
Thank you. I think I'm ready for it.
How long do you plan to stay in America?
Permanently, I hope. I'll be moving along, of course, once I decide how to invest my money.
Well, we have plenty of room at Collinwood. I hope you'll stay with us until you leave.
Well, as a matter of fact, I've been exceptionally charmed by one of the houses on the estate.
Oh, really? Which one?
The old house. I read about it in the family histories. So I took a look at the outside of it on my way over here. I hope there wouldn't be any objection to my staying there.
I really don't know what to say.
Well, tell me if there is.
Well, it's most unfortunate, but at the moment, Cousin Barnabas, the old house is occupied by gypsies.
Gypsies?
Please don't be too shy. Somehow these people managed to ingratiate themselves with my grandmother Edith, and she granted them the use of the house.
Oh, I see. Well, perhaps as a relative, if I can talk to your grandmother, she might be willing to alter her arrangement.
She might very well, but I'm afraid she's too ill for you to see her this evening. But I could talk to her about it.
Would you do that?
Gladly. Now, I'm sure she'll agree to let you stay there.
Well, that's splendid. I would like to look at the inside of it, if I may.
Well, of course. And then if you find it suitable, you could make the necessary arrangements.
Well, that's very kind of you. I'd like to look at it now, if I may.
By all means. Quentin, will you go to the door with Cousin Bob?
Of course. I'd be glad to. I hope you find the old house to your liking, Cousin Barnabas.
I'm sure I will. I'll come back and tell you.
Place is called Mr. Edward Collins at the Parker House in Boston, Massachusetts. Quentin,
Operator,
give me
please cancel that call.
give me that phone.
Why on earth were you trying to call Edward?
Because I had orders to.
From Grandmother?
Yes, she's worried about Edward, and she thinks he ought to be here by now.
Now, there's no need for us to worry, is there?
What do you mean by that?
Judith, why tamper with fate? If Edward can't get here, then Grandmother may have to tell one of us the secret.
Give me
Right.
that phone. I have to make a report.
Tell her there's a flood in Massachusetts and the railroads aren't running. If she believes a gypsy, she'll certainly believe you, won't she?
Beth! Wait, Beth. Don't be afraid. You needn't be.
Who are you?
Barnabas Collins is my name.
I've never seen you at Collinwood before.
Well, I only arrived hours ago.
But how did you know my name?
Well, Judith Collins was showing me a book of photographs. I saw a picture of you in it with the children. I asked who you were.
Oh, I see.
I particularly asked about you because, well, I assumed that you were one of the Collinses.
I don't know how you could assume that.
Well, that was easy. You have an aristocratic look.
Well, I'm not one of the Collins. I'm just an ordinary servant.
A servant, but far from ordinary.
Why are you staring at me like that?
I'm sorry. I've just ended a long trip from England and I'm rather tired.
Then good night, Mr. Collins.
I hope I'll see you soon, Beth.
If you'll be at Collinwood, you will.
I will be visiting Collinwood. I'm anxious to meet the children. Jameson and...
Nora.
Nora, yes. Well, I'm afraid I've forgotten the name of the other child.
There is no other child.
You mean Jameson and Nora are the only children in the house?
Yes.
How odd. Why did I think there was another child?
I don't know. I have to leave now, Mr. Collins. Good night.
Good night.
There must have been another child. Either she was lying for some reason, or the third child is already dead and has been buried somewhere on these grounds.
Wandering maidservant returns.
Good evening.
You've been gone a long time. You must have had a lot of errands.
Only one that was important.
Your gentleman friend?
That would be telling, wouldn't it?
Charlie, I can't find my compact. Did you see what I did with it? I can't go back to the pub without my compact. Charlie? Charlie, you're drunk. That's what you are. Well, you can just stay there and sleep it off. You certainly know how to spoil a lady's evening.
May I help you?
Oh, you startled me.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
Oh, that's all right. Being startled is the most interesting thing that's happened to me all evening.
Did you lose something?
Oh, yes, my compact. It must have fallen out of my purse. It was given to me by a very kind gentleman, Captain Strathmore. Do you know him?
No, I don't believe I do.
Well, he was a very considerate gentleman, only I don't know whatever happened to him.
Is this your compact?
Oh, yes. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
You're very considerate, too.
Thank you.
And I'm very grateful to you.
You needn't be.
My name is Sophie Baker. What's yours?
I think it would be better if I didn't mention my name.
What an odd thing to say.
Well, I'm glad that you found your compact. I must go now.
Oh, wait, you can't go.
I must.
Well, what's the matter with me?
Oh, nothing at all. You're very lovely.
Well, then why am I having such a miserable evening? First, Charlie gets drunk, and then you get cold feet.
I'm sorry.
Well, so am I. Captain Strathmore wouldn't have treated me like this. He was a very considerate man.
Good night, Sophie.
Oh, wait a minute. The least you could do is escort me to the door of the Blue Whale. Would you mind doing that?
Not at all. I think we better go.
All right. But I can't go like this. I'll just be a minute.
We better hurry.
I really can't understand you at all. Such a nice night, and you're alone, and I'm alone. And you know, we could... Why don't I see your reflection in my mirror? Who are you? Why are you staring at me that way?
are you going?
I'm taking your grandmother her food.
Well, let me take it.
That's very thoughtful of you, but it's my job.
Well, then, put the tray down for a minute. I'd like to talk to you.
The food will get cold.
Beth, I need your help.
For what?
Well, my dear sister Judith is being a little too protective over Grandma. She won't let anyone in to see the old girl. And I'd like to see her.
Why?
Oh, I just want to talk to her.
You think she'll reveal the big dark secret?
She might.
How do you think I can help you?
By getting Judith out of the room long enough for me to get in.
You're very friendly with people you want to have help you, aren't you?
Will you do it?
I'm very happy with my job here. I don't want to risk losing it. Sorry.
Wait a minute.
What's the matter?
For a sick old lady, Grandmother certainly has a healthy appetite, doesn't she? Where are you going with all this food?
I'm taking it to your grandmother's room.
She couldn't possibly eat all this, and you know it.
Most of it is from Miss Judith. She's having dinner with your grandmother tonight. May I go upstairs now?
Yes. Go on.
Judith,
Yes, Grandmama.
did you speak to Edward?
I couldn't reach him.
He must get here in time.
He will, I'm sure.
It's getting cold in here. Judith, you should not have let me go to sleep with the blanket turned down. You know I always get a chill.
I know, I'm sorry.
But you've been very faithful to me, and I know it, and I will be grateful.
Thank you, Grandma.
Who is that?
Probably Beth with your consomme.
I must talk to you.
What is it?
Quentin stopped me in the foyer and questioned me about the food.
What'd you tell him?
That I was bringing it up to you.
Did he believe you?
I don't know. I think so.
Well, now that he's back, we must be much more cautious. We mustn't let him become suspicious.
Judith, my consomme.
Yes, Grandmama, I'm bringing it. Go upstairs with the food. And don't let him see you.
What were the two of you whispering about over there?
Oh, I was giving Beth her instructions for tomorrow.
Taste the consomme and tell me if it's too hot.
Yes, Grandmama.
Edward, is that you?
Yes, Grandma.
No, it isn't Edward. Quentin, I know your voice. I'm not as far gone as you think.
Yes. Yes, you are, Grandma.
What do you mean by that?
I mean that you're going to die tonight. But before you do, you're going to tell me the secret. Aren't you, Grandmother?